morning, guys, and welcome back to the garden. It's been a little over a month since I put up a video because we've been getting so much rain and it's just difficult to get outside. So today I decided we've gotten a break, which it looks like it's probably going to rain some more, I um, but I decided to walk you guys around and show you the good, bad, and ugly. The good part is there are a lot of things that are doing well because we needed the rain. But then a lot of plants are suffering because of it. So we're going to start by going around through the back of the garden where it looks the worst. And then we'll graduate to where there's some nice things to show you. So let's get started. Okay, coming through here, you can see the banana trees have really overgrown. I need to pull a lot of those pups out of there. The plants are just all growing together, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because the bad thing is there's way more work for me to get done, and it's almost like I'm starting from ground zero. The fig tree has given us a lot of figs this year, but the squirrels have found it, and so they're taking the ripest of the figs. And right now I think we have enough for us. You see there's a great deal of figs coming in through there, but they're small, and so I think we've gotten enough for the family. And so I just think I'm going to let the squirrels for right now just have at it. Coming through here, you can see everything is really overgrown. Those of you who have watched the channel before probably remember this was quite open, and it's just everything is overgrown. I was able to get out yesterday and cut the grass for the most part, but see there, you can't tell what is what. So I need to take my time and go through and get rid of the grass and the weeds without removing the plants that I want. As you can see, I have some asparagus down in there, and there's bean plants down in there. So there's just a lot of work to be done, and we are in Southeast Texas, and so I'm just praying that once the rain fully stops, the mosquitoes don't get horrible, because we're known for mosquitoes. But as you can see, I tried to take the lawnmower and kind of just make a path, but I could not remember everywhere that I may have had a brick or a rock or some kind of structure, and so I did hit a brick and I stopped at that point. This chicken run is it's up high enough where the chickens can come out today if the rain doesn't get too heavy, but I can feel it drizzling, so I may not let them out today. That chicken run is just soggy. The good thing is there's no standing water in the biggest part of the yard. Around the perimeters, the alley and stuff, there is some standing water, but it's just, everything is just overgrown. There's a moringa tree that, as you can see, is starting to yellow. It's a young tree, but it's starting to yellow because it's getting too much water. I tried to cut a path in here, and I had to stop because this is where I hit the brick. So later today or tomorrow, whenever we stop getting rain, I'm gonna have to come through and just try to clean this out more with my hands, because I can't afford to damage my lawnmower, and it's old, so I don't want to keep hitting it with bricks. We're gonna squeeze around through here. See, this is a bed, and you can't even tell it's a bed. So we are right now, everything is just overgrown. That Malabar spinach is looking really beautiful though, so that's a upside. The trellis here broke. So you can see a pole here and there's a pole there. It broke during all the rain. I guess I didn't get it up there good enough, and so the beans are just growing wild. At the bottom I had sweet potato vine, and so it's growing wild. So I need to get back here and clip all of that and clean this bed out as much as possible. The banana trees are growing really well. I don't expect these back here to fruit this year because during winter they did die all the way down. But when we go back the other way, I'm going to show you one that is fruiting. If we turn this way, that is all overgrown. There's a chicken run back there, but it's full of weeds. So I got to get in there. The moringa tree is doing really well. I've been pulling leaves off of it. But okay, here you can see we are putting on beans. So I'm not going to disturb this plant. It's wild and crazy, and I'm just going to let it do that and get as many beans off of it as I can. These are lima beans, and hopefully if I just work around it and let it be wild and crazy, I will get beans off of it. I don't want to disturb it because I am dealing with the fact that a lot of my plants are not making it. Partially to the wet conditions and partially to the fact that we had a high, we didn't get cold last winter, and so the caterpillar butterfly population was really bad at the beginning of spring, and they did a lot of munching. This is a combination of all kind of stuff. There's some squash down in there. See, it's flowering there. There is some sweet potato vine here, and so I just need to be able to go slow and take my time so that I can save whatever I can save. We're not going to go back there because the mosquitoes are a little bad, and it's just overgrown back there. But that's Jerusalem artichoke back there. They are where they're supposed to be here. There's a Cavendish banana plant down in there that you can see the leaf there. It's doing pretty well to say it's getting overcrowded by the other plants, but I mean, this is just a bad grow year for me. It really is. Everything has gotten overgrown and has kind of undid all the work I've done. But I'm trying to count it still as a blessing because I got rain, and so maybe when the rain stops, I can get everything set up and we'll have a great fall. There's some walking onion here that's doing very well. The flowers are loving the rain. So like I said, there's good in this because we needed the rain. But because I haven't been able to get out in the yard periodically, I've been stuck in the house for about, over a month. The last thing I was able to do was to get my okra planted. And so these are doing really well. There is some bug damage and things like that, but I have about 4 different patches of okra, and as you can see, they're making okra. This one is full of aphids. This one is really full of aphids, and I need to see if I can do anything about that. There's some more lilies, and these are berry plants that I need to get into some soil. Boysenberry, they're boysenberry. So yeah, everything's extremely overgrown, but what is surviving is healthy. We've been getting so much rain that these pepper plants, these are chitlin peppers, they are not making many flowers. Here's a flower here, and let's see if I can zoom you in. There's a pepper back there, but normally this bush is just full, and everything is just trying to survive because it's just so wet. But there's very little flooding because the rain is coming down slowly. But I'm going to see if I can get you in there. See, the banana plant is starting to make bananas. So that's a huge plus. Let me see, I can't get back there because it's so overgrown. Let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. There you go. See, it's starting to put on bananas. Last year we didn't get any bananas because it was so dry. The plant was just struggling to stay alive, and so yeah, so that's a huge blessing. I'm grateful for that. And the flowers are so beautiful. I have to learn how to cook them because they are edible, but I haven't had the time to learn that. I'm not gonna open all this up, but I do have a few plants here in the tunnel that are surviving that I need to get into the garden. I have some beans down in there, and but I can feel it's going to rain, and I haven't fed the chickens yet. That's mainly what I've been doing, just coming out just long enough to tend to the birds, and the yard has really been suffering. The garden itself has really been suffering. I was trying to see, I thought I had some fruit on this peach tree, but it may have fell off or got eaten because I don't see it now. But as you can see, the tree is yellowing in places because I think everything is just tired of the rain. But there are areas of beauty. There are things that are surviving, things that are thriving. And so I'm just counting it all as joy because we do need the rain. Isn't that elephant ear beautiful? I did not plant that there. So I don't know how it got there. Maybe I had a piece of root that was in some dirt and I didn't notice it, because it's beautiful, but it's not in a good spot because now my pathway has gotten way smaller than I need it to be. So, and then this one I planted it on purpose. So I have to decide this winter if I'm going to move one of them or not. But here's an example of what all this rain is doing to certain plants. This vine back here, the rain started as soon as the fruit began to form, and so it just received too much. These are tiger melons, and they are literally rotting on the vine. So I need to get out here and tend to that. The eggplants were doing well. Here's a young one coming in, but I did lose a lot of them because the water has just been, the excessive water has just been too much. These bean plants are still doing good. These are black-eyed peas, and they're doing okay. But as you can see, everything, well, not everything, but too many things are getting overrun and eaten by the bugs. The ants have become a huge problem in the garden because they're looking for higher ground and food. See, as you can see, there's an eggplant right there that's literally dying on the vine, and it's too small yet to pull. But the good thing is the plant is still producing more, and so hopefully I'll be able to get enough eggplant. See, there's another one that's dying on the vine. This has been my first day being able to get out here. It did stop raining day before yesterday, but the earth was just so wet that I didn't even try to move around any. This fig tree, if you watched the channel, you can remember when I planted this fig tree 2 years ago from a cutting, and it is doing well. It will become the focal point of this part of the garden. During the winter months, I'm going to restructure all of this. But as you can see, we are getting figs on it. We are getting figs, and it's quite healthy. So I think I'm going to restructure this whole area. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it, but the fig tree will be the focal point. These beans have just been, they're starting to show signs of weakness now because they've been getting so much rain, but they have just been inundated with bugs. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see these little guys. They have decided to just hang out here, and short of smashing them with your hands, I have not found another way to kill them in great numbers. I've sprayed them, I've put powder on them, and it doesn't work. So I've just been, from time to time, I come out with gloved hands and I just crush them. But I have decided to just give them this plant for now, because at least it's stopping them from overtaking the rest of the garden. And I will collect seed from these. I have already gotten a good deal of these beans into the freezer, and so I'm just letting them have at it, because at least they're not eating other things. And as you can see, they're not really doing a lot of damage. So I'm just going to let the rest of these beans swell and give me seed for next year. And maybe some seed to put into the store for sale. I need to cut back this canna lily. Let me zoom back out so you can see it better. This canna lily is coming way out into the garden, so I need to get a lot of that root up. But I'll probably wait until winter to do that, because right now I really need to focus on my fall garden. And as you can see, I mean, it's good. We got frogs everywhere. See that little guy? But everything is just doing its best to survive. It's just doing its best to survive right now, because it's really starting to stay too wet. So in the next couple of weeks, I will do my best to show the hard work that I put in to get things back in shape. I will begin putting a lot of these beds in the back to sleep, and getting them healthy for next growing season, and make the garden just a little bit smaller for fall, so I can so that I can kind of control what's happening and get the largest harvest I can before winter comes. These strawberry plants are really struggling. They are, as everything else, getting too much water, but they're still trying. As you can see there, there's some flowers. And what I'm hoping is, this is a very small patch. Some of them have died, but I'm hoping to propagate them so I have a greater number in winter. Oh, I'm sorry, in next year in the spring for planting. And the holy basil is always looking good. It's one of those plants that can take a lot. So that's about this area. Needs to be worked out again because it's full of, the holy basil has overgrown, the elephant ear has overgrown, but as you can see, there's okra back there, and then there's a patch of okra over here, which, let's see, which is doing very well. It's flowering well and it's strong, but I need to get in here and pick this okra because it has swollen because of all the rain, and that's unedible. So I need to get in here and clean out all these big pieces. That's a good one right there, and get rid of the big ones and get the little ones into the freezer, so we will have okra this winter. And so that's the gist of it. That's the good, bad, and the ugly. The good thing is we have finally gotten the rain that the garden needs, and I'm hoping, although I do not like the cold, I'm hoping that we get a lot of, well, not a lot, but a good snap of cold weather in the winter, which will hopefully kill a lot of these bugs and caterpillars and things like that. So thank you for stopping by the channel, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.